Chisholm Public Schools, home of the Longhorns. Every day, approximately 918 students entrust their futures in the care of the capable teaching staff. Established in 1973, Chisholm was a combination of North Enid and Carrier schools. Chisholm offers many sports, music, academic, and other extracurricular activities. Chisholm has recently been chosen as a National Blue Ribbon School, and the extracurricular activities are thriving. But where does the funding for these programs really come from?
Dun, dun, dun.
Find out after these messages.
In the past 10 years, we've had several bond issues, the most recent being the new elementary school that will be built in the coming year. But what exactly is a bond issue, and how does it help pay for schools' needs? A bond issue is an agreement that in exchange for money today, the district will pay bondholders interest over the term of the bond in principal once the bond matures. In order to get more information on how exactly bonds affect Chisholm High School, we arranged an interview with the superintendent, Mr. Tilley.
Starts with the Board of Education. We had tried to identify those needs that we think are most pressing for our school district. And in this day and age, from a budget standpoint, the only way to be able to build facilities, there's just not enough money in the regular budget that we get from the State Department of Education every year. We have to do bond issues for capital improvements and to buy buses and transportation type. We bought our 2 Suburbans out of bond issue money, so it's a necessary evil in a way, but it is part of the deal, and thankfully our patrons have been very gracious to help us out.
So now we understand how bonds work, but who exactly comes up with these? Again, Mr. Tilley has the answer.
How do we come up with bonds? Like, who suggests them and everything?
Well, could be kind of a long answer, but the process really starts with the Board of Education, and we identify needs for the school district.
Finally, we have a great example of exactly how important bonds are to the school district. Just recently, the school passed a bond that will, over the next 2 years, construct an entirely new elementary school. Moving away from school officials, we also need to look at the issues from the perspective of Chisholm's taxpayers. We asked a random taxpayer how they were affected by bonds.
How do bonds affect you as a taxpayer?
Well, they affect our property taxes. So when we are paying our monthly mortgage, we're aware of the property taxes, and that's kind of what I'm most aware of. It is just in our paying of our property taxes each year.
Knowing that bonds are not the only method of financial support, we looked into the importance of fundraising and donations with the principal of Chisholm High School, Mrs. Morley.
Okay. How important is fundraising to Chisholm High School?
Fundraising is a really important part of our activity programs at Chisholm. We don't raise funds to run the school. We raise funds in our fundraising for the different organizations that we have. And that's basically the only way that our organizations get money. They're not given money through school money.
As you can see, fundraising plays a very important role in the operation of school events. Donations also play a big role.
Well, do we, like as a school, accept donations from private individuals as well as businesses?
We do. The way that happens is if a person, if they come to us and say, I want to give you money, then if it's just a non-designated gift, it goes into a general fund. If it's designated, then they have to tell us where they want it to go. So we have individual activity accounts set up for each one of our organizations. If they want that money to go to athletics, then it's put in the athletic account. If they want it to go to the adopted teacher program, it goes there. If they want to give us money for food for needy families at Christmas, it goes into what's called our miscellaneous account, and we keep track of how much money is in that account for the different things that people give it for. You can't spend money, you can't take money that someone gives you for a designated reason and put it in a different account. That's illegal to do that. So if somebody designates where they want their money to go and what they want it to be used for, you have to use it for that reason or you're in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
When it comes to fundraising, one of Chisholm's biggest and most successful events is Wheat Capital.
Well, you talked about earlier that Wheat Capital is how long has that been going on here?
45 years. before this school was even in place.
So how is all this money distributed between school organizations?
There's a limit for the organizations. Most organizations only do a couple of fundraisers a year. Student council, because it deals with the whole entire school, does more. And sometimes FCCLA has done more because they do small things that just benefit the students, like cookie sales or something for Valentine's Day. And those don't really raise that much money, and so we felt like to give them more, it's just a fun thing to do.
Fundraisers are all well and good, but what ensures the safety of these funds? How do we know the money gets where it's supposed to be going?
Rules that go on with fundraising have to do with how you receipt the money and how you take care of money, because anytime you're dealing with money, it's important that it follows the procedures that are outlined that we have in place at the school, so that no one is ever accused of taking money or a fraud or that kind of thing. So there's a huge process set up on how money has to be collected, receipted, sent from our building to the administration building, and then deposited into the bank. And all of those things are put into place, again, so people don't think that they can steal money and get away with it.
Knowing that so much time and effort is put into fundraising and bonds has raised an obvious question. Is there an easier way? Are bonds and fundraising really the best way to take care of this? The state does provide funding, but could they do more? The answer lies in the hands of you.
Most elections are
No, please don't, because I'm the sub, and I'm not sure who's supposed to be playing cards. Can you turn that off?
Megan Pettis stopped by the office.